Well, welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going good, Steven. How are you guys?
Going well. Chike just celebrated his 50th birthday. Well, actually, today's his 50th birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Isn't that crazy?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you
That
see, he
is.
has the same shirt you have from our merch.
Wait, does he? He's got the tape.
Yeah,
Chica, I
but
wish I
I,
knew.
I I didn't reveal mine like Adam revealed his. I was a little jealous with his reveal though. I'll do better next time.
Right.
Yeah. We'll make sure we all match one episode, Steven. So you got to get yours
Exactly.
too.
Exactly. How was your weekend?
It was good. Weather's good now, so we went actually out to a strawberry field and like did like fill up a basket full of strawberries and kind of just get outside and do stuff for a
Yeah.
while. So that was really fun.
So, we're talking about in hot topics, the mask mandate. Well, there's CDC has a new recommendations that you don't have to wear your mask at all outside, but if you're fully vaccinated, you have to wear it inside.
Hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I guess outside is fine. Inside, probably still wear it. Maybe at the grocery store, just because
Mhm.
I'm so used to it. Like it's kind of the habit until that goes away. And especially like obviously on the subway and whatnot. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I mean, if it's like a stadium or something, I'll probably take it off. But yeah, it's just I'm so used to wearing it inside. It'll take me a little while to kind of stop doing it.
yeah. I get that. All right, we all take it away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I saw a film called Percy versus Goliath, and this is a by a kind of a based on a true story film, a kind of a court legal drama movie about this Canadian farmer in 1998 who gets sued by Monsanto for patent infringement and essentially uh, growing their genetically modified seeds on his land. And it stars Christopher Walken as this guy Percy, and Christina Ricci's in it, and Zach Braff, and it really it tells the story of how he had to go through many lawsuits. And for anyone that's kind of unfamiliar, Monsanto's been kind of this company. Usually, you ever watch a movie and there's the chemical plant that has polluted the local village and they have to do a lawsuit because people are getting infected or getting sick. It's not always Monsanto, but they're one of the companies that's been known for that. They've been in lawsuits throughout the 70s, and they're a big agricultural chemical firm. And so what they did in this case is this farmer, his neighbors had these seeds and these plants, and somehow some blew over into his land. He grew it. He kept the seeds because that's what he did, and then he regrew it. And so this company comes after them and say, "Well, this is our genetically modified seeds. You've been growing it. You infringed our patents." And now you owe us money, and if you don't pay, then we're gonna, take all your stuff. It's a very interesting case. For the movie, Christopher Walken does a great job. He's always done a standout job, but this one he kind of hits it out of the park and really gives you that whole side of the story of what constitutes what happens when seeds grow on your land, and how do companies like Monsanto, and we not to get into too deep about like the patents of things, but this is kind of like how patent trolls kind of operate, where they say, oh, you did something of ours, now give us some money, settle, or we'll send all of our lawyers after you. And so really good story, definitely worth checking out if you're into those kind of, again, it's that courtroom legal drama movie. But yeah, I would recommend it.
Cool. Is that the only one you saw?
Yeah, that's the only. Now that the weather's great, it's kind of getting tough to catch up on movies.
Yeah. I saw a film on Netflix called Monster. It stars Calvin Harrison, John David Washington, ASAP Rocky, Jennifer Hudson, and Jeffrey Wright. This film is about a young man who's accused of a murder felony, and the court has basically, or the prosecutor has basically labeled the parties involved as monsters. And there's a, a, a stereotype of what a
Hmm.
monster is and what that type of person looks like and reacts to in society. And they were labeling this guy as a monster, and they take you through the whole court journey. And they tried them as there were three of them. They tried them as separate but committing the same crime, and they were trying to the prosecution was trying to tie all of the individuals in together in a conspiracy to commit murder. And it was very, very interesting. I actually interviewed Darren DeWitt Henson, and he referred this movie to me. He told me to watch it. And I found it to be an interesting story. The only thing that was a throw off for me is that I guess it was the director's choice, of course, but some of the cutaways to certain scenes and some of the artistic leaps for the director kind of threw me off a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
I like for a story for me to flow in a certain way, and those cuts and that break away with the artsy fartsy stuff thrown into it kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
So other than that, I think that it's an awesome story. It's an excellent story. It needed to be told, but at the same time, for me, the film itself didn't flow through smoothly. So it was a little rough at certain parts, but I recommend it. It's definitely a good Sunday afternoon, rainy day watch. It's
I
good
watched it,
entertainment.
and it's only an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was good. The ending, I don't because you don't want to give it away what happens, but
Right.
I'm glad it happened the way it did.
Mm.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it after people see it.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Me and my best friend talking about it because he saw it too. He was telling me, and I was just the way it ended. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think it was gonna end that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So the next thing that I watched, it's a new series on Amazon called Underground Railroad,
you watching all
which
my
stars say that again.
you watching all my shows.
Thuso Mabedu, Aaron Pierre, Joel Egerton, all star in this new slave drama on Amazon. And it's about the beginnings of the Underground Railroad, slaves trying to free themselves for a better life heading north. And this is the origin of the path that they start to take and how all the slaves band together to assist each other in that passage up north to freedom. So far, it's pretty interesting. I have to prepare myself for some of the violence because it is violent, and it's not always easy to watch, but you have to be in the mindset of it. I know a lot of people are talking about they don't want to absorb anything like that anymore. They don't want to absorb any of the crime movies where Black people are victims from the police. I get it. A lot of people are burnt out over stuff like this. It's a choice, but this is also educational, and you really get a sense of the sacrifice that our ancestors made in order to find freedom. So I highly recommend it. It's interesting to me. So I'll be watching it.
And
Gruesome
Barry
and all.
Jenkins, I mean, he knows how to make entertainment. So
Barry
And
Jenkins.
he said that he got because they shot it here in Georgia, and he said that he got a backlash for the same thing you said. People are tired of seeing things like this, but he said he thinks it's more timeless than ever to watch it. And you have to remember, and you forgot to say, this Underground Railroad is an actual train.
yeah, that's the twist, right? Like it's kind of a nice difference.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's all I have.
I'm sorry. I was gonna talk about that. That's what I saw. I watched that, and I did watch Monster too. But I have 2 more episodes with Underground Railroad. So hopefully,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Well, you good. You good and into it.
yeah. I binge watched on Friday and Saturday. But
Nice.
Oh, and the other show that I'm watching too now on HBO is Mayor of Eatontown on HBO Max with Kate Winslet and Guy Pearce. Yeah, that's pretty good, and it's layered. So there's a lot of there's a main story, but there's a lot of sub stories, and the characters are all living in this small town, and they're all connected to each other. They all know each other, but there's been 1 murder and 2 abductions, and they're trying to figure it out who did it.
Sounds like a nice neighborhood. Well, listen, guys, thank you as always for letting us know what to spend our money and our time on and what not to. And have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
All right back after this.